This is the 10-Minute Contrarian Podcast. This is VP. We are a solutions-based podcast, diving into the world of contrarian investing and alternative finance. You can find us hosted on the No Nonsense Forex YouTube channel, NoNonsenseForex.com, and podcast players everywhere. Episode 138 is brought to us by Bybit. You've seen the crypto market going up. That is good for everybody who holds crypto, but it's doubly good for people who trade as well. We have now seen with the crypto market, it's not crazy wild like it used to be. It now is starting to act like regular markets, which is really good for traders. It moves, it consolidates, and then it moves again. It is a trader's dream. Why are you not taking advantage of this? If you are outside of the United States and Canada, go down below, click the link to the Bybit blog. Read the blog, see if it's for you, click the affiliate link down at the bottom and get yourself signed up. Collect your bonus and become eligible for every single promotion Bybit throws your way. Trade directly off of your MT4 charts if you want to. Take advantage of their spot exchange. So much you can do in one platform because, as everybody knows with Bybit, membership has its rewards. It is the 10-Minute Contrarian Podcast, and this will be the co-episode, I guess, to last week's episode on playing defense. Remember, we not only play defense to protect ourselves, but we also do it as an added bonus to separate ourselves from everybody else and close the gap between those who have more and us. You know, maybe that doesn't mean anything to you, but that is an added benefit because most people don't know what they're doing, even rich people. Ask the richest person you know how much gold they have. Ask them how many bank accounts they have for their own personal money. I think you'll see that I was right. To protect themselves, they might have bonds, but as we've seen in the last few years, bonds are no longer the ballast to a bad stock market. They can go down just as easily too, and we will probably see that in our future. Probably see it this decade. And this is why bad times affect almost everybody. But I said almost. If they don't affect you, then by default, simply by going nowhere, you get to win while everybody else is getting crushed. Again, this is not what we want to see, but if it's going to happen anyway, you may as well protect yourself the right way. Now, on the other side, the reason why we play offense is obviously to make a lot of money. But as an added benefit, we also, by playing offense as well, get to separate ourselves from everybody else. Because almost everybody sucks at this. And one of the ways we do this is by trading. I've thrown the numbers out there. We all know how many people suck at trading. It's almost everybody. If anybody out there does not know, I created a trading system that created hundreds of professional traders all over the globe of all income levels. So if you didn't know that existed, it is all there if you want to utilize it. But the majority of people in the world just flat out don't trade at all. And that's probably a good thing for them because likely there's nothing but losses in their future. But if you choose to do it and you're good at it, you know just what a boon it can be to your bottom line. And that is one of the ways most of us here play offense. But this is an investing podcast after all. And by doing what we do here and doing it the way we do it here, we are easily separating ourselves from everybody else. And again, we're doing this on the defensive side and the offensive side. So we're doing it twice. So first of all, when it comes to most people, they don't invest anything. Either because they don't have the money to, and that's one thing, but even people who do have the money to do this often don't because, as we have stated before on this podcast, the majority of people out there are risk averse. Half the population is women, and they were born risk averse. They are hardwired through thousands of years of evolution to be that way. And for good reason. It ensures their survival. But you could damn near eliminate half of the world's population right there. And when it comes to everybody else, most people have no idea what they're doing. As much as I crap on the financial advisor space here on the podcast, it's probably what most people need. Because most people who do trade don't have the money management or the psychological control to do anything like this at a high level. Or even the ability to tread water. Like, we all know how great this stock market has been lately, and most people still find a way to lose. Like, think about that. Now, you wouldn't know by talking to them. Most, I call them home traders. I guess they're more home investors. I have no idea how long they like to trade or not, but I've heard these people in bars or just anywhere. God, my old neighbor was the worst. Nice man. Like, he would watch over the dogs when we went on vacation and things like that. He was a good neighbor. Just the biggest hillbilly, though. And he was a home stock trader, and he would just talk your ear off about all these stocks he liked and how well he did and stuff like that. But he's just like every other home investor out there. who has an E-Trade or a Schwab account or whatever they have in Europe, they never ever talk about their losses, and they always exaggerate their wins. They're all trash. So really all you have to do to separate yourselves from even that small minority who does do this is to simply not be trash. Because with these people too, it's only going to be good when the market's good. These people don't have the presence of mind to exit the market when it's not good. And that's why these recessions take everybody down with them. Because do you think that any of these people have any kind of real money management structure in place when they're entering these investments? Do you think they do what we do and go to a spreadsheet and say, okay, when price gets here, I'm going to take this much off. When it gets here, I'm going to take this much off. Move stop loss to break even. They don't do those simple things. They wing it, and they trade by feel. And we all know what happens when you do that. At least with a financial planner, they do have a lot of those mechanisms in place because the people at the very top have mandated that their financial planners put these systems in place, because they know at the end of the day, it's money management that takes over everything. And you can create a multi-billion-dollar company simply on this, especially when the market is up and has been up for a very long time. This will all turn over at some point. But for now, for most people who invest, a financial planner probably is their best outlet. But are they going to get rich off of investments this way? Almost certainly not, because that's not what your average financial planner does. You would start having to go seek more like hedge fund territory if you wanted that, and most people can't afford to go that route. With a financial planner, best case scenario, you're going to add another 2 or 3 years onto your retirement money. And while that is certainly worth doing, I suppose, don't you want more than that? Well, good news. You can get more than that because these opportunities exist. And you can utilize these opportunities without risking it all on some crazy penny stock or some super low cap crypto. You know, we've whittled these portions down from the whole world to half the world to this tiny little sliver of people who actually invest, and then an even smaller sliver of those people who actually know what they're doing. But even out of those people there, how many of them really understand asymmetry and asymmetric investing? It's a smaller sliver than that. So let's go ahead and take those people. How many of those people who understand asymmetry would even have the patience to wait some of these investments out? And let's say that we could actually find a few of these people who fit all of this criteria. How many of those people also understand the defensive side the way we do? Contrarians. At the end of the day, it's just us. We're taking the best of everything. If asymmetrical offense exists, and these opportunities are out there, then you need to jump on them. And by asymmetry, again, I don't mean super low cap lottery ticket type bets. Is there asymmetry there? Sure. But 10-minute contrarian style asymmetry is taking something that has a lot less downside than something like that. Something that has asymmetrical upside, but is probably going to manifest itself anyway. Like even a better than 50-50 shot. I referenced this all the way back in episode 2. That's why we did this so early. If you and I were playing a coin flipping game, and heads, you gave me $1, and tails, I gave you 3, would you play that game? Well, at first you would have every right to be suspicious. But if it was a legitimate game, of course you would play it. And a smart person would go mortgage everything they have to go play that game, because that is a game that over time you'll never lose. You may have bad runs, but you're not losing that game long term because the odds are so heavily stacked in your favor. But these opportunities are no good if you don't take them. You know, the heaviest things we talk about here on the show when it comes to offense are crypto and then precious metals / energy. And I have a feeling, based on the numbers I see and the demographics I see episode to episode, that these are often two different audiences. And what I mean by that is the precious metals and energy crowd doesn't always invest in crypto, and the crypto people don't always invest in precious metal stocks and energy stocks. Ladies and gentlemen, if the opportunity is there, you need to at least learn about it, because that's probably the reason why you're not going forward, because you just don't feel like you know enough about it. But years ago, I didn't know anything about crypto. I had to learn about that. 10 years ago, I didn't know about mining stocks. I had to learn about that. And not only was it easier than I thought, it was incredibly enjoyable and really exciting. I really do think, and you might not see it now, that those of you who are playing this either or game are going to be leaving future money on the table. Now, it could be a bit of a generational thing too. If you're a crypto investor and you're young, you might be saying to yourself, well, it's mostly older people who invest in mining stocks and energy stocks and things like that. Young people, if we invest, we mostly invest in crypto and nothing else. All right. Well, let me ask you this question. And after listening to this episode, you can probably answer it pretty well. Do most people, young investors included, have any idea what they're doing or have any idea what they're talking about? They don't. And these sectors are not designed for people of a certain age. Opportunity is opportunity. And as 2024 really starts to get going, we are seeing some of these investments finally start to really manifest themselves. And we're seeing an economy which sets up more and more every day to finally allow some of these precious metals and energy stocks to take flight. If you believe my macro prediction, 2024 might be the last really good year for a while, which means for us, it could be the last really good year to accumulate. Do not pass these opportunities up. We have the chance to do something very special here, contrarians. It's a great time to be alive. It's a great time to be one of us. But it's worth nothing unless you execute. Because when it's all said and done, we're not going to be crazy. We're going to be the ones who did things right.